Hey everyone, it's Andy Ellis with another episode of the Melodic Noise Insider Podcast. My guest today is the energetic and on-point singer-songwriter Mae Simpson. Her and her glorious band just released their debut full-length record, Chandelier Bloom, and it's one of my favorites of the year. We had a great chat about living in different states, getting the music bug, her band's journey leading up to this record, and more. It was a lively chat, and she's one of the most to-the-point artists I've ever had the chance to talk to. So without further ado, here's our interview. Ladies and gentlemen, take number 56. Welcome to the Melodic Noise Insider Podcast, the great and very patient Mae Simpson. Mae, how's it going? This is obviously our first take.
Yeah, ... I'm doing really good. I'm having a great time.
Yes, this is one of those where it's the joys of like, it doesn't get more like DIY podcasting or interviewing than this. It's like there's I am slowly sweating away in my apartment, just to keep the noise down, and you have gone through about 50 different changes. Just to really make it more convenient for me to interview, which is all about. It's all about me. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, you're the big act here, okay?
Exactly. Yes, I'm the one who gets paid in likes and. Anyways, so let's start from the beginning because you've never answered this question yet. You started in Beaufort, South Carolina, but you've been to 9 different states, correct?
I lived in 8 different states, but I was born in South Carolina, Beaufort. Yep.
So I'm curious, how long did you spend there?
Well, I was born there, so it was very, very young. So like maybe 1 year, and then moved all around. My dad was a Marine. Mom loved to move. Ended up settling for a good amount of my time, like my high school years in Omaha, Nebraska. Then moved up to Minnesota after that.
And so you, where'd you catch the music bug that made you say, "Hey, I'm gonna kind of do this on my own," in a sense?
Yeah, I would say high school is when I started really kind of understanding that I had something there. It was in the form of hip hop at that time, so that's when I started to feel like, okay, I must have the musical itch somewhere from something. And then when I moved to Minnesota is when I really kind of got into the kind of music that I'm into now.
So, I want to kind of go back to that first influence of rap and hip hop. I mean, what was it about the music that you were connecting to? I mean, who were the artists?
Come on, Missy Elliott, yeah. Tupac, Biggie. And I really liked, Usher, and at that time, Chris Brown, just really that R&B kind of feel where you can do a rap verse, but you can also sing and create something really, really catchy. I'm really big on hooks, and I feel like hip hop does a really great job of understanding what a hook is and delivering a really good hook. So, yeah,
no, I mean, I think, obviously, rap and hip hop's influences in all genres, but that they have mastered the hook.
Exactly.
And so, I mean, so you get to Minneapolis, and when did you move here?
I moved here in 2012, I want to say. So a while back ago, yeah.
And so I mean, how long did it take you to kind of start getting involved in this music scene?
I would say like in the capacity that as far as with a band and stuff, other than just by myself, 5 years ago is when I started to really get intertwined with the music scene here in Minnesota.
And so, I mean, what was the when you started your band, which is it's called the Mae Simpson Band? Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. And so, I mean, like, what was the scene you kind of started playing in when that band started?
In the very beginning, I would say it's a jam scene. They really kind of took to us, but we're not a jam band, so I don't really like saying we're a jam band because we're not. But in the beginning, that's kind of what it was to start off with.
So and obviously there's a lot that happens between then and now. But I do want to fast forward just because, I mean, the debut album, you can say debut, right? This is
Yep.
technically okay.
Yep.
So the debut album, Chandelier Bloom, it's a fantastic record. Um, and I've known a bunch of guys for a couple of years, and I've always wanted to see live, just never got the chance. And then I go to your show at the Fine Line, and it's your release show. It's with the Get Together and the always awesome Nerdy, and you know, it was what was your goal with that show in general? Because the both bands were awesome as well.
Yeah, I really did have a goal with that show. It was our big release album show, and I wanted to make a point to put people there that I believed in and that I've been following for a few years now. And the Get Together band was definitely one of them. I super believe in them. I think he's a mad genius, and they really have something special there. And they're just really good people. And Nerdy and I have been friends for quite some time, and I love what Nerdy stands for and stands up for. And truly just a really magical, good human. And I wanted my release show to be really circulated with people that I not only believe in, but I really believe in them as people and their values.
Yeah, and when I was watching Nerdy in the neighborhood Spider Band, that's it, correct? Okay.
Yep.
And
yep.
so this is
Friendly Neighborhood Spider Band.
Friendly neighborhood Spider Band. My corrections there. And so, but what I noticed the most was that, like, because every band as a hero has their evolution, and what I noticed with that was that, like, he started kind of giving other members more of a spot. Like, I remember, I can't. There is one of his kind of background singers. I think he's new. I hope that's his pronoun. He was.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Not having the name is on the tip of my tongue. I can't really remember it, but what a great voice.
Wow, damn. And then
Impressive. Yeah.
and then like Robin, who has been
Love Robin.
And just I don't know what it was, but it's like it was one of those where I could feel that, like, there's some kind of moment that's just kind of overtaking her, because there felt like
why, right?
I
Her family was there. And it was the first time that they had seen her do her thing. I think it was her dad. But it was funny because we had a conversation about that, because that was the first time my mom had ever seen me, right? And so we both connected hard on that. And I know that she was feeling those emotions, and just having the ability to perform in front of your family, that's super emotional.
And then I actually do want to talk about that moment with you, because there was this moment where speaking, and I mean, your emotions just kind of, they got the best of you. And I would assume, and it could be wrong, that, like, they're, as these emotions are kind of, like, fighting their way up, there's, like, a party that's kind of like, okay, no, keep it down, like, just get through the show. But then, you kind of say it through the mic, and then the audience is kind of like, no, feel that. To, like, let that, all that to kind of, like, what is it like, in a sense, being allowed to kind of feel those emotions in front of a crowd? Some of you might even know too. What's that like?
I don't know that in the moment I can think of, like, what it's like, but it's really just a safe space, right? So music in general, to me, is a safe space, right? So I had thought maybe I'd tear up a little bit, but again, your emotions are super heightened, and you don't know what you're going to be able to control in the moment. And I think it's just, when you feel like you're in such a safe space, you're kind of able to break down a little bit, a little easier than, if this had been a crowd full of people I didn't know completely. You know what I mean? If there wasn't so much emotion behind it, I wouldn't have felt as comfortable. But I didn't try to cry. It just was too much. But it felt safe for me to do that when I was kind of breaking down.
Was there, any momentary, attempt at, like, trying to hold it back, or you just kind of like, you know what? Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I didn't want to cry. I mean, I was just so overwhelmed, and that song just reminds me of how I grew up, and my mom was there. It's a lot.
And so I mean, like, you're because if I remember right, like you said, like this was the first your mom's first time seeing you perform, right?
Yeah, yeah,
I
ever.
mean, and if you don't want to share it here, it's fine. But like, you know, what was her kind of reaction after you saw her after the show? I mean,
I mean, she felt like she was on cloud nine. She thought that she was famous because everybody wanted to say hi and introduce themselves. It was pretty cute. Um, she couldn't have been more proud. And it was really just a really cool thing, not only for her to see me perform, but for her to react to the guys in the same way, like they were her kids too. And they all kind of did the same thing and just made her feel so comfortable. And I think she just felt like a star. And I absolutely loved that for her. And, there wasn't like a whole lot of crying, which I really
mm,
appreciated because I don't even like crying. And it was like, I don't want anybody to cry. Just let's have fun. And, so it was good vibes.
and going back to and again, one of the highlights of the show for me was finally watching you and your band play live, and I have kind of like this mental list of top live bands in Minnesota, and immediately like about like two songs, and I'm like, and they're on the list now. It's just so like you guys are just it's you guys, everyone gets to shine, but it's also the fact that the songs are great. You guys look like you're having fun, and it's just like, but also, you guys are all very good at your instruments. I mean, damn,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. I got
it's
lucky on that one.
you know you have a incredible live band. I was at the show, and everyone got the chance to shine, and I can't help but believe that like that takes a lot of work. I mean, like what was it? I mean, was the chemistry when you guys started playing pretty much automatic? I mean, like, did it take a while to kind of get to that place?
Oh no, it was just there. And I think that's the thing, is that it's literally just there. We don't have to work at it. We don't have to rehearse that energy. It's just there. It's authentic. It's literally who we are.
Also made a pile makes a lot of bands jealous too. Like, I mean, seriously, come on. So please, at least some struggle, please. At least like, oh, he played a wrong note. Please, something.
Well, we don't want to make anybody feel bad, but I think but I think that's what a lot of live music misses these days, is that you're not able to feel that connection. I mean, the whole point that you're there, it's not about you anymore. When you're doing a live show, it's not about you. It's about who you're speaking to in that moment. And we've just always had that and understood that. And, pour your heart out for something that you care about, but show people how much it means to you. And it's pretty easy to do, and it's pretty powerful.
Yeah, and I've also kind of felt like, especially with indie music, it's like because it's you know only kind of guarantee you have is that moment, and like it's so if you have a great live band who has great songs, like it's gonna make things. It's still gonna be hard, but like you make things a lot easier for people to want to come and see you. And it's like, oh, it's like no, like I mean, they're just good at what they do, and it's fun to see too. Now, kind of going to the record itself, Chandelier and Bloom. Now your producer is also your saxophone player, Snowman, correct?
That's right.
When you're going in to make this record, what kind of conversations did you have with him in terms of what you wanted it to be?
Yeah, Snowman and I had many conversations. um, Snowman is an incredible producer and mixing and mastering engineer, like just absolutely unbelievable, the best around. But I made it very clear what I wanted, and we worked very closely together because I didn't want it to sound overproduced, and I didn't want it to sound like we're in somebody's basement. I wanted it to be very clear, very punctual, and very energy filled. And that's the highest point I can make, is like, this needs to come across as close to our live show as possible. Because I think that's a big difference between our old recordings and this one, is just the energy that's happening. So when you hear a song like Somebody on the record, you can pretty much compare it to our live show. Not really, because we do some crazy wild stuff, but you still at least get a taste of that energy. And that was a conversation I had with Snow, was we need the energy to be there.
And so to get that, like, I mean, what things did you guys kind of do to make sure that there? I mean, did you guys play live a lot of the songs, or what did you guys do?
You know, we started off playing it live, but then kind of pieced it together, right? And did some dubs and stuff like that. The magic was really with Snow. He made that live energy come across with what he did for it and how he did it. That's all him.
Yeah, and it's one of those where, like as I listen to it, it's just like like I said, sounds very professional. Sounds like very tight, like very it's tight in
Clear,
a way that's
yeah.
like it's tight, but there's also, because there can be clear but no soul. This is like full of soul. Like, and I don't just mean like the sound, just more like there's a lot of love in this record, a lot of heart. I listened to it today, and it's just it's never gets old. It's on my right now. It's definitely one of my top of the year.
Nice.
And
Thanks,
so
man.
I kind of, now I want to get into several of the songs, because it's I tried to pick like 4 or 5, but like it's just so we'll see how this goes. But the one you start off with is Cap Guns.
Building forts out of wood from that old broken shed. House was always locked into the sun bloom red. Getting lost in the woods just to find a way home to mommy yelling from the kitchen. The dinner was on. If I could wake up in a song, I'd wake up then.
What I noticed here is, songwriting, lyrics are very descriptive. I can always kind of, like, especially that opening verse, like, I almost see you kind of see you riding your bike to that stop sign with the cards and the spokes. And also the arrangement itself it's a great way to, like, slowly introduce your band, because you literally give everyone a spot to kind of shine. Like, can you talk about this song and also, like, opening the record with it?
Yeah, this song means a lot to me. I literally, I probably wrote it in 45 minutes. I don't know, super quick song, but I really wanted to hone in on my childhood, because I felt like if I'm writing from a place that I know, I can almost guarantee you there's going to be so many more people that have these same feelings and these same thoughts. And I think it really connects people to their past. I mean, who didn't ride bikes with cards on it? You know what I mean? There's some people that might not know what a cap gun is, but you know what? The people that do, that's a really cool line. I really wanted to write something really personal to myself, but knowing that it was going to be really personal for somebody else.
So, and there's a lyric in here that really kind of, it's before, I would say, each chorus, it's, if I could wake up in a song, take me back when. In my mind, I'm hearing that, and I'm like, well, okay, what's the song? I'm like, oh, wait, no, like, for you, is a song, like, just kind of, like, this moment in your childhood that you remember fondly?
Well, I think that's a little bit more, it's kind of up to the listener,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Because I feel like as a person, I'll hear a song and it will take me back to a memory, right? Of a specific time. Maybe that's for somebody else too, right? Or, you're building, just like the song, you're building that memory in your head, but it's an actual song, right? So it's really up to the listener and kind of how they want to dissect that for themselves. But I think that everybody can kind of relate to it, as in, I listened to this song back when I was a teenager, and man, it really makes you feel like you're there.
Oh, yeah, and it always takes you back to, it's like, no matter what.
Yep.
Then there's with California, Carolina.
She said, come to California. And I said, come to Carolina. And she said, come to California. And I said, come to Carolina, babe.
What I liked about about this is I mean, one thing I will say is that like you guys are really good at the openings for songs. Like I mean, this one has like it's like almost like a island marching band feel. Like especially when that whistle comes in. Like, can you talk about like, because in my mind like this kind of feels like it's kind of like a back and forth kind of argument. Like, and there's also in my like, can you talk about actually making this an upbeat song, because there's a role where it's more of a mid-tempo, right?
Well, originally, no. I mean, this is, I mean, it depends on what you kind of call mid-tempo. Do we kind of push it a little bit when we're live? Maybe. But I think that this song is always kind of meant to be fun, energetic, and loose almost, right? So, yeah, the lyrics are, I mean, honestly, how this song came about is that somebody did a write-up on me once, and they thought I was from California, but I'm not. I'm from Carolina. And so that's how this song was birthed. But then I just kept making it up, and then I was like, all right, well, now I guess I have to figure out what am I going to say here? So it really is that kind of fight between, you know, come to California. No, come to Carolina. You know, kind of like that reversal of, no, I'm not from California. I'm from Carolina. But you're kind of putting different meanings into it. So it kind of makes a story.
So I mean, when you are, you know, taking a song like this and, you know, you're working on it while it's based on something that happened in a sense in your life, it's not, in a sense, not, you know, specific, like, how much freedom does that give you as a songwriter and as a band to kind of play with it to make what you want to make it?
I mean, I will write just about almost anything. I really kind of settle on love because I'm really good at writing love songs, but but I, you know, there's freedom everywhere. I mean, let's just be honest. I didn't write California, Carolina until I was in the studio. I've been making that song up for years, just on the spot. So same thing with Sally. Same thing. I've had the chorus to that song forever. I've never written down the verses until the studio. And I was like, guess I got to figure it out. So that's kind of the weird thing that I do, is that until I'm ready to write it, I'm not writing it. And then when I do, I guess, well, figure out the meaning of it.
And the next song, and I swear, this if this isn't like a mini Ha Ha Mama.
'Cause every day, girl, you're rocking my world. 'Cause every day, girl, come on, my mini ha ha.
And I swear, like, if this could already be on a t-shirt somewhere, but if it isn't, like, it's like, you know, I would say, like, on the surface, it's probably, like, the most kind of direct love song on the record, maybe. But, like, but it's also just fun. It's just, like, how easily did this title come to you? It's so catchy. It's just, like, oh, it's just, like, it's like a hashtag.
Yeah. Okay, so cool thing about this is I didn't write this song.
Oh.
Jorgen did, my guitarist. Okay? So I get this question a lot where it's like, oh, you know, you wrote this song, Mini Ha Ha Mama, and, you know, it goes throwback to the LGBTQ+. But the cool thing is that Jorgen wrote this song and I absolutely love it. And I just wanted to call it Mini Ha Ha Mama because why wouldn't you? I'm pretty sure. He might correct me. He might, I don't know. We might have to link in with Jorgen on that one. But Mini Ha Ha Mama rolls off the tongue, real easy. Real to the point, and it's catchy. But I never want to change, you know, everyday girl, you're rocking my world, because that's who I am as a person. And I'm always going to write in that form because that's who I am. And, you know, I'm not going to sing about a guy. That's not what I want. So the way that Jorgen writes, it's almost like he has me in mind. He knows me so well that not only is he an incredible writer in general, he really is. But he also understands what I might want to say, but almost can't say. And it's really makes me mad sometimes that he's so good at it. But yeah, no, I didn't change one thing, I don't even think, in that whole song because I loved it so much. But yeah.
So like, and has like has he ever written something for you? You kind of think, okay, no one knows this. How do you know this about me? And you're like, I have no idea. What do you know?
No. It's just that sometimes the way he writes, I'm just like, this is like next level, you know? Like, it's kind of like those songs where you wish you would have written it, you know? Like, you just, oh my God, I could have written that song. I wish I would have written it, you know? So I'm sure people feel the same way about me and how I write, but Jorgen truly is a fantastic writer. I'm lucky to have him.
So then there's the title cut, Chandelier and Bloom.
I was tired, but you can't see it. Oh, call me to the pencil. Where were you now? I've been wondering how if we could all see where I was failing, you know. Chandelier red. Chandelier red.
Listening to this, like, to me, it kind of, as I'm trying to listen to lyrics, like, it feels like as if, like, you know, in the song someone's lost and someone's kind of helping them be found in a way. Can you kind of talk about, I mean, again, like, not only this song, but like what made it the right fit for the album?
Originally with that song, for me personally, Jorgen and I had completely different ideas. Like, I did not write it in a way that he took, that he put the meaning behind that. The way that I wrote it was really about that in-between struggle of business and pleasure. And really trying to keep your head above water, not only in a business aspect, but an emotional aspect. And it wasn't necessarily for a person or, that in-between thing. It was really just like, how can I convey a sense of emotion, which kind of can almost take somebody into this? Is this a relationship, or is this an internal battle somebody's having? Okay. I wanted people to ask that question, or to not be able to figure it out, right? Because it can be both at the same time. And so in Jorgen's case, he takes it as, oh, this must be a couple going through something. And for me, that has nothing to do with it, But that's the beauty of it, is that it can mean multiple different things to different people on how you hear the lyrics. But I absolutely love this song because it really, for me, it was more like a reflection of being the musician, the independent musician that also does everything behind the scenes and runs a business. And
I also do sometimes think that people sometimes forget that, like, independent artists, they're small business owners, Yep. And I do think that it's forgotten sometimes, or a lot of times actually. But like it's because kind of, and I kind of said this already, but like I think at least in my mind the song was kind of like you're lost and you kind of found someone who kind of helped you find the next path in a sense. And then for the record, it's more like, well, this is kind of like, this record is a combination of like you guys finding your sound in a sense.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think there's so many ways you can look at it, right? But I'm so hesitant to even kind of give it a direct meaning because I hate doing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just, you can take it in so many different ways, but every single lyric in this can be dissected, and there can be a meaning behind it that does you well or does me well, but it's not only an internal struggle, it's also a realization, because we can sit here and say that, well, Chandelier and Bloom, okay, well, it was the struggle beforehand, and then it was you guys all finding your sound and finding your band. Yeah. And you know what I mean? So
15 minutes later, no, Andy, seriously, next question.
Good questions, though. Good questions.
And then another one is because I'm one of those where it's just like I like melodies, but I also listen to lyrics a lot too. And so then Plainclothes Dreams.
Dream it, don't always know how to see it. Keep it like you're holding a secret. Let that fire burn inside your soul.
the lyric is tearing up a little to a crowd singing out my lines. I'm not rich, but I'm full in soul, and I'm not famous, but I can let it go because I'm fine. I mean, to me, this could almost be like the kind of feeling every indie artist is there trying to reach, the whole thing of like, I'm actually finding that thing I was searching for through this music journey. I mean, like, can you talk about this song and what it means to you?
Yeah, this song is super personal to me. And it really is that cultivation of where I started, you know, as a little kid swinging on the swing, to hearing people sing our songs. And no, we're not famous, but we're okay because we're still living our dream. You know, I mean, it's a powerful place to be when you're able to be a musician and you're doing what you love, and you don't have to be this big famous person to be happy or successful. And I think this song means so much to me because let's just say we do really huge things. I'm always going to look back at that song and keep myself about myself. You know, you don't have to outgrow your humbleness. You can still remain that same person. And this song is just it's a testament to how far I've come, how far this band has come, and saying that you don't have to be anything other than who you are. You can just be okay.
And so, like, I mean, do you know, recall a moment, maybe it was a release show or this weekend, or when the idea in this song kind of comes to mind, like, yeah, like, I'm good. Like, do you remember the last time that kind of, crossed your mind?
I think it crosses my mind more often than not, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it probably crosses my mind every single time somebody sings our songs to us. I mean, when you've got hundreds of people singing your songs to you, especially like at Blue Ox, I mean, literally hundreds of people singing our song to us. What a moment to be like, yeah, we don't need to be famous. Like, you're going to be okay. Look at the people you're connecting with. But at the same time, I'm always hungry, and I'm always going to keep going.
Yeah. And I was also saying, like, I mean, this song, because I can also, because with the kind of band you have, I can also see a version that's just very fast and celebratory. And was it on purpose that it's kind of more of a slower, more reflective song? Was that on purpose?
Yeah, no, I wrote it in my living room, I think a day before the studio. And I wanted to ode to my feelings in that moment, right?
So when you take this song to your band, and I mean, like, with the band you have, like, I mean, they're all kind of all going on that similar journey with the band, but also within themselves as well. Like, I mean, like, what was their, reaction? I mean, it was even kind of like, oh, I've been feeling that for 10 plus years. Like, what was their reaction when they first heard it from you?
The guys, sometimes you can't tell with them. I'll just say, hey, man, I wrote this song and I want to put it on the album. And then I'll play it for them and they'll be like, man, that's really good. They're always, I'll tell you this, the guys are not only incredibly talented. I mean, here's the thing. I might write a song and bring it in, but I'm not writing their parts. I'm giving them direction or melodies, but they're doing it themselves. Like, that's complete and utter talent. What they're doing is just as much as what I'm doing for this band. Mm-hmm. We are all on an equal platform. They are truly geniuses in their own right, and I just am lucky that they like my music.
Well, I'd hope so.
They better.
No, they're just there for that really big paycheck, right?
Yeah, somewhere down the line, hopefully.
Yeah. I could gush on about you guys as performers and how much I just love hearing the band in general. And one song that, I'll be honest, like, I don't know what it means. I don't really care. Why?
You're heading north, I'm heading south. There's just no middle here. You scream and curse another verse of words I cannot hear. We kiss to break up, kiss to make up. We keep grinding gears. We're just a little
song Why. Like, but honestly, the guitar solo, the saxophone solo, your wail at the end, oh my god. And it has almost like a ska vibe to it, like a ska feel, like especially towards the end where it's just like 1, 2, 3, go, and like how long, because all of your arrangements are so specific and so like on point, like it's just so like for a song like Why, like did it take a while to get that performance right?
Nope. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was sitting in my room one day and I had that little tambourine thing that you can put on your finger.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, and I was like, and I was like, huh. You grab your coat, I grab my hand, and let's get out of here. And then I put that together, right? And then I just recorded that little snippet, and I said, well, this is what I want to do, guys. Here you go. And off of that snippet, we dove into this whole thing, whatever Why is, right? So the first part, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the ending of that, it never started like that, right? It's never was really my idea, but it ended up just working. And, you know, as far as how it kind of unfolded, I think for the middle part, where it goes into that kind of slower, that halftime almost, that's where Dave kind of came in and he brought that down because I wanted it to be like that soulful song, right? I wanted it to be the Changes, you know, by Charles.
Yeah.
We're going through changes. Yeah. So I wanted to have that emotion and that feel to it in that moment. And so, you know, Dave had his hand in that and kind of slowed it down at that part. But then this sweet solo comes in. And then right after that, you're getting hit in the face with a saxophone solo. And then I'm in there. I'm mixed in there. I mean, that, let's just be honest. That song is a mosh posh of, I don't know what.
It's everything. It's and also, who is Dave, as we should say? Like, is Dave Snowman?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. So, Snowman is Brian Powers.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Dave is my bass player.
Okay.
Dave.
Okay. We should probably make that clear.
Yeah.
but yeah, no, it's just one of those decisions. It's like, and like your wail on that, like, and it's surprising too. It was surprising when I first heard it live. I was kind of like, damn, like it's just like, are you okay? Like it's like, do you know, because you know, as a vocalist, you have to kind of watch your voice too. Like, I mean, do you have to, because and if I'm right, that song's later in the set, correct? Is that song later in the set? So like, is that just because for your vocals? Like, because you can only do that so much, right?
No, I can do that pretty much whenever. But you know, like this, when we're going into that down season, right? I will get like hoarse and I will not be able to sing the way that's going to make me happy. But when we're in midsummer, I mean, I'll lose my voice once or twice and then I'll figure it out, right? And then it's just on and popping from there. But anytime I have to do that scream, which I do at every single show, you can put that in the beginning or the end, I'm still going to hit it.
I've got to laugh because, like, you're in interviews I've done, like, it's very rare that someone's like, no, we just did it. It's fine. No, just like that. No, it's just like, okay, this thing's gonna be like 10 minutes long.
Yeah, I just try to be real with you.
No, it's great too. It's great, but it's just kind of like, it's like, no, okay, next question. This is going about 20 minutes. it's just so like, it's like, okay, hey, easy for me too. So
maybe you'll get right to the point though. You know, people like that too.
Yeah. Everyone who in our short attention span world we have here, like, so then there's Somebody.
There ain't no reason, darling, we can't work this out. So tell me why you stalling. I was trying to figure it out. Where were you when I was gone? Every heart made of stone. I could feel you losing your mind alone.
My sense most here is like, this is almost like if there's ever a song that like had you sound like you're almost like pleading to someone in a sense. Like it's that, but like because like there's a part where it's like your phrasing is very specific, where like you stop and start and start and stop. Can you talk about this song and just like put it together and like where it came from?
Somebody, I'm trying to remember when we wrote that. Again, never really wrote it. But Somebody is really that emotion-based song, right? It is that pleading.
Mm-hmm.
You're dead on when you say that. It is pleading, and it's painful, and it's a yearning feeling. And we really wanted to expose that because honestly, that's just how it makes me feel. As soon as I heard that horn line, right, I just knew where I wanted to go with it. I wanted people to experience pain, you know? And what better way to experience that where it's not to necessarily you want to hurt somebody's feelings, but you really want to bring them into that emotion. And Somebody really does that. And it doesn't even have to really try hard. It's just there. It's right there in front of you. It's almost like you can feel it. And, gosh, I even forgot the question. I'm so emotional about it now. I'm like, what did he ask me?
Well, no, I think, you know, the one question I have is how specific the phrasing is, because the phrasing also helps with that kind of pull of it too. Like it's so your start and stop, and yeah, it's just like stop. And so, you know, is since that was one of those where again you said you wrote in the studio, correct?
No, somebody's been around, right?
Okay.
But it was definitely made on the spot when I made it. And no, it's been around. But that middle part, in the darkness, calling once again, my friend. I don't know why I did it that way. It just felt right. Mm-hmm. You know? I wish I could have answers about like why I did things the way I do things, but
give it 20 years.
The truth is truth is like you just feel that emotion. And again, remember I come from a hip hop background in the beginning. Yeah. And what's important for me is those hooks. It's how I'm articulating something. It's how I'm coming into something. And I think especially for Somebody, that's a really powerful turning point for that song, and it really gains momentum at that point.
Well, and also like now I think of it, like also kind of if you reminds me a little bit of like the kind of old school soul as well. Like if you look at someone like maybe like a James Brown, like how he was kind of like that too. And so when you're kind of, you know, just kind of naturally perform, you know, a part of a song like that, like, I mean, is it pretty easy for you to remember to do kind of next time? Is it muscle memory right away for you?
Yeah, I mean, if the song is good, I'm gonna remember it.
Okay.
Period. If I'm not feeling as like I really super like the song, then I'll probably forget it. But yeah, no, Somebody, all these songs that we have here, very easy to remember because you're just feeling it.
And then you kind of start to slow down on the last couple of songs here. Half Like a Shadow.
Half on empty, half on full. Meet in the middle, 'cause I'm stuck here too. I need you. Half like a shadow when I'm not with you. Half like a shadow when I'm not with you.
And I want to make sure I'm getting this lyric right because I really liked it. Half on empty, half on full. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. I mean, and it kind of again to me, you know, sound like a song about like it's after a fight and you're tired, which is why it's acoustic. But like, can you talk about this song and just like, I mean, it seems like it was pretty personal to you.
Yeah, you know, half on empty, half on full. Meet in the middle. It really is about that relationship struggle of maybe you're not in the best place and maybe you're seriously really tired, and it's kind of, you're literally in the middle of the road where there's no, gosh, now I'm like, wow. I haven't had to think about this for a while. You know, anybody can have that personal experience about kind of almost wanting to give up right? But kind of like you can't live with them, you can't live without them, kind of a thing. And you're at that cusp of, man, I'm really running on empty here, and do I give up versus I really love this person, I really want to keep working at it. And you need some help. It needs to be 50-50 in that part, right? So that's really what that song speaks to. And I mean, the lyrics in this song are really, really potent, I feel like. Some of my best writing I feel like I've done. And it just really paints that picture. You know, one of my favorite lyrics in this song is, this house is old and it's creaking. The skeletons, the skeletons are there. And it was just like, that's a really big thing, because your past comes into play in a lot of relationships, no matter if you're owning it or not. I think that's a huge deterrent of good relationships when those insecurities start to come out and play. So really, it is truly exactly what you said. It's about a relationship that really you're straight up in the middle of, and you really don't know how to move forward or how to move back.
And then you close with Mountains.
Brick by brick, we made a home. Carried them from the valley and turned them into stone. Brick by brick, we made a home. Carried them from the valley and turned them into stone. Turned them into stone.
It's definitely a departure from the rest of the record, but it's more of a folksy Americana song. Is this more of a can you talk about this, because it's definitely a departure, but like I first want to say like it's more of like a callback to your South Carolina roots, but I also know you weren't there for a while anyway, so like talk about the song and also deciding to put it last on the record.
Yeah, definitely put it last on the record for a reason. Brick by brick, we made a home. Carried them through the valley and turned them into stone. We start with cap guns. It's the beginning of your life. You could see that it might be the beginning of your life. You're young. You're restless. You're going through these emotions in your life, Mini haha mama, young love, to things are getting harder in somebody, to, half like a shadow when you're down in the dumps, to mountains, which really brings it back home to me. Whatever anybody's home is, really. Brick by brick, we made a home, You built yourself up. So you've had this full, long life, and mountains is really that we're okay. We can rest now. We can conclude now. And it was really just the perfect ending to this seriously emotional journey.
What was the decision behind, giving it, that Americana folksy feel?
I've always wanted it to be that. I had a very specific vision in my mind with that song, because I really wanted the vocals to punch through and the lyrics to punch through. So when I'm talking to the guys and I'm saying, this is really how I want it to feel, they do a really good job of listening to that. And I'm like, I don't want it to be full band. And if it is full band, I want it to be very light and gentle, and have that the drums that are behind it and stuff like that. And that part right in the middle, through the years, space of pictures and memories and love. And then the band picks back up. I was very specific with how I wanted that to feel.
So when you are working on, any given song, by the time, like, when you're writing it, I mean, do you, like, how clear is your vision of how the finished thing should sound?
It really depends, right? It depends on the song. So something like Plain Close Dreams, very clear. Mountains, pretty clear. Even Why, I would say, is fairly clear for me as far as a feelings point. But, on certain things like Mini Haha Mama, Jorgen, I hope his vision's clear, because if I like the song, I want it to remain how you want it, right? I'll still put my spin on it. That's always going to happen. But my vision is usually fairly clear. The guys help me clear it up as we go. That doesn't mean that it's always the correct vision or the right vision. It does turn a little bit once you get to working with multiple people. But yeah, I would say that when I come into writing, I'm fairly clear on what I want.
And so when you are talking with a band in terms of, hey, here's a song, now it's time for you guys to kind of put your parts in, do you, when you're talking with them, is it more of a, hey, this is the feel I'm going for, or are you talking in terms of music theory, or how do you guys communicate?
It's all about feeling, right? So I'm not going to speak to you in music theory. Nope. I want you to make me feel it, right? And so for them, they'll sit there and talk about music theory, right? Me, I'm going to go off feeling, and if I don't like it, I don't want you to play it. But if you understand that that's what I'm looking for, I've never had an issue with these guys. They're so dang good. They understand that feeling that I'm trying to get from the song, not necessarily what amazing cool chord can I put here to make this really, shine. It's all emotion when I talk to them. I'm not telling them to hit a C chord. They are all doing that themselves. They are making their own game plan on their end.
One thing, I am one of those where I enjoy listening to full albums. And I'm a huge kind of geek when it comes to like sequencing. And so
Yeah.
For you, when you're looking at piecing together this record, the songs, what is kind of going through your mind when you're looking at how to kind of order these songs?
These songs are all, I feel really emotional, but maybe that's a feeling that I've attached to it. But the sequencing was really important, and Jorgen and I had a lot of discussion about this because we wanted to make it so it's more of an emotional ride than it is a clear-cut, this makes complete and utter sense. You know what I mean? It's more of a taking you on a high and low of emotions. We wanted to have you here. We wanted to bring you up and then bring you down, and then bring you up and then bring it down. And I think that sticks in people's heads because if you listen to the album straight through, you really are going to feel a lot of emotion. So the sequencing as that is no different than our live shows. We're bringing you up, we're bringing you down, and we're sending you home.
Are there songs on this record that people have connected to, your fans, that you're maybe surprised by, or that like you're, oh, hey, I'm glad that song reached the way I wanted to?
No, I'm not surprised at all. Well, I guess the only thing that I'm surprised about is I always ask people what's their favorite song, and it's always a different answer. And that to me is surprising, right? Because you think you're going to have 2 to 3 really standout songs, but in reality, this whole album, people literally love all different songs on it. So that's surprising to me. But not that, that one of their favorite song is Plain Clothes, or Trying to Be Right is one of their favorite songs. Half Like a Shadow, those are all incredible songs that we thought would do well. It's just the amount that people are saying different songs are, right? You think there's going to be 1 or 2 standouts, but really, it's all of it.
And also depends on the mood too, because like there are, in my mind, I like the whole album, but like there are times it's kind of like, well, sometimes like I'll kind of, because I also got the vinyl too, and it's like sometimes like I'll like that front half because it really showcases the band. And it's just all depends on the mood and like where I am too. So what do you want your fans to take away from the record?
I want them to take away whatever they need to take away, right? I've always kind of said that once we make the song and we put it out there, it's not ours anymore. It's yours. So I don't want to tell anybody to feel a certain thing. I just want them to feel it for themselves.
You are part of the LGBTQ plus community. Did I say that right?
You did.
Okay.
Yep.
Have you always, felt comfortable being true to yourself in your music?
100%. Yeah. I've never felt like I need to shy away from being who I am, and I won't. It's not the kind of person I am. But I really do make it about the music, right? So, I don't even know if people... I mean, I hope they do, I guess. I don't even know if people realize that I'm singing about a woman. Do they? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
But am I ever going to hide who I am from? No, never. I enjoy who I am and believe very much so that I can be comfortable in my own skin and still pursue music. And I can have so many different fans on so many different levels. So, yeah, I'm good.
And so I mean, like, because obviously, you know, the fight to, you know, especially that there's, I would say, the past year there's been kind of some kind of fight to, in a sense, censor certain voices, especially from more voices who have always been had to fight extra hard to get heard. What has been, you know, you've been involved in the Minnesota music community for a while. What has been kind of like your take on how this scene is inclusive of those artists who have, you know, who are marginalized, who you know, have need to kind of work harder sometimes?
Yeah, you know, that's kind of a hard thing to pin down, right? Because you can see it from your view, right? And me being LGBTQ plus, I feel like I've been able to do what I need to do and be heard for my music, not you know who I love, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But at the same time, that's my experience. That's not everyone else's experience. And I think the one thing that we should always continue to focus on is, you know, learning more about it and creating safe atmospheres and safe places for people, and giving more opportunity to those who don't get it. I can't even say that I don't get opportunity. I go out there and get it. You know what I mean? But I can only speak to what my experience has been with it. And for me personally, I think that I'm okay, but that doesn't mean other people are okay. And I think that we should always have our doors open to listen and to learn about what other people are going through that we might not understand.
Do you ever like feel like a larger responsibility to represent the larger community you're part of? I mean, I hope I said that right, but like, I mean, do you feel like a larger responsibility, or are you just so like, you know, it's I'm focused on myself in a sense?
You know, here's my thing is that I am a part of that community, so I do need to make sure that I'm standing up for what is right, period. And I do. But at the same time, I also want to do music, and I want to make my art about music, not about things that are not about music. I don't mind being seen as being an LGBTQ person within music, but also I don't want to have that take away from the artist that I am. And I'm not saying that in any way to be mean or rude or anything like that, but I'm certainly going to stand up for things that I believe in 100%. But I also do want to be seen as an artist first, not for who does she love first. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that mindset when it comes to that, because this is who I am 100%. But here's my music that has nothing to do with with any of the political stuff.
Exactly. And yeah, and it's like a you know, it's part of who you are, but it's not all of who you are in a sense.
Exactly. And by standing up for that, though, is important to me. And I certainly will and will continue to. And if I have a platform where I can help, and as bigger this platform gets, you know, I'm going to have the ability to help even more when I need to. So that's also important, is keeping that door open as well.
And so as an I gotta let you go here soon, because we only did one take of this, by the way. It's what's next for you, like rest of the year? I mean, are you guys back in the studio working on stuff? Are you just doing shows, or what's going on with you guys?
We have a few more shows coming up. The next show is the 28th in Traega, Wisconsin. And then I think Paramount in November. We have some shows coming up. You can find us on MaeSimpsonMusic.com, MAE, Simpson.com, or Instagram or stuff like that, to find our next shows. But really, we're going to do a few more shows. We're going to take a little break, and then next year we are going to be touring south. So if you know anybody in the South, Nashville, Knoxville, South Carolina, West Virginia, hit us up. We want to know where to play. Yeah, we're going touring.
Well, this was a awesome chat. Thank you for being so open, and just like, it's just fun talking with you just about, like, because again, I'm a big fan. I look forward to seeing another show soon. So Mae, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's been a blast and great questions, and we'll do it again sometime.
And that's it for this episode. I want to send a big thank you to Mae Simpson for her time. Her band's debut full-length, Chandelier Bloom, is out now everywhere. I also want to thank our producer Paul Thorson and editor-in-chief Andrew Parizo. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at PlaylistTC, as well as Facebook and Instagram. Just type in Melodic Noise Media, and you should find us. You can also join our Patreon and help us keep the ship afloat. We'll be adding some new content soon. You can find me mainly on Instagram at AndySmileyJ. Thank you for listening, and until next time, I'm Andy Ellis. Remember to stay safe and support local music. Take care, everyone.
Losing my way.